Hello friends, welcome to Knowledge Gems. Today we are going to learn about Agile values and principles. Before diving into Agile values and principles, I would like to discuss about the history of Agile. So, history of Agile is all about how people in the software industry figured out a better way to work together in order to deliver the projects more effectively. We would like to understand this with the help of an example. The old way was a waterfall method, as we already know. In the 1980s and 1990s, most of the software projects were delivered using a method called the waterfall model. Like imagine you want to build a house. So first step what you will do is design the entire house on a paper. Then second step would be to build the foundation, and the third step would be to put up the walls. Once you have put the walls, so final step would be putting the roof on it. So, in order to understand this, we cannot move to the next step until the previous one was completely finished. So, we cannot, you can say, put up the walls once the foundation has been completed. We cannot put the roof on once the walls have been completed. So, this was the waterfall model. Now, the birth of Agile, how it came into picture. Like in 2001, 17 software developers who were experimenting with new ways of working met at a ski resort in Utah. They wanted to find a better approach that allowed for more flexibility and collaboration. What this has led to the creation of Agile Manifesto. So Agile Manifesto have introduced 4 values and 12 principles. Now we will understand all these 4 values of Agile Manifesto one by one. So first value of Agile Manifesto was individuals and interactions over processes and tools. So what that means is this value basically emphasizes the importance of people working together effectively rather than rely solely on formal processes and tools. Although processes and tools are helpful, but they should support, not replace the human element of collaboration, communication, and problem solving. Let us understand this like with the cooking example. Imagine you and group of friends are preparing a meal together. You have a recipe we can call it as process, and all the necessary kitchen gadgets like tools, knife, spoons. So you have the all the gadgets. However, the success of the meal depends more on how well you and your friends work together, communicate, and adapt as you cook. For example, if one person notices that sauce is too thick, they might suggest adding a bit more liquid, even if the recipe doesn't say so. Another friend might offer to help chop vegetables faster if the main dish is almost done. The interaction and teamwork among the group allow you to make adjustments, solve problems on the fly, and ultimately create a delicious meal. If you all strictly follow the recipe without communicating, you might miss an opportunity to make the meal even better or address a problem before it's too late. So, in order to understand in the software development context, in software development team also, process might include defined workflows or methodologies, and tools could be project management software or version control system. While these are important, but the key to success is the collaboration and interaction among team members. In order to understand better, let us say, for example, during a sprint, a developer might realize a feature that can be implemented more efficiently than originally planned. Instead of sticking rigidly to the process, they discuss this idea with the team. So, through open communication and collaboration, the team decides to adjust the plan, leading to a better outcome. This focus on individuals and interactions ensures that the team can adapt quickly and work effectively, resulting in higher quality software. So, I hope you all understood what the first value of Agile Manifesto says: individual and interactions over processes and tools. So, moving to the next value, which is working software over comprehensive documentation. So, in order to explain this, this value basically suggests that the primary goal is to deliver a functional product. While documentation is important, it shouldn't come at the expense of delivering something that works. The focus is basically on creating a value through a working product rather than getting bogged down in writing extensive documentation. In order to understand this better, let me explain with the help of an example like baking a cake. So, baking a cake, like if we are creating a comprehensive documentation, imagine you are planning to bake a cake. Instead simply baking it, you spend a lot of time creating an elaborate recipe book. This book includes not only the recipe but also detailed notes on every step, such as how to measure ingredients exactly, the best techniques for mixing, and specific temperatures for each stage. You also include extensive troubleshooting tips and decorating ideas. This all comes under comprehensive documentation. Now, the working cake. Like instead of focusing on writing the comprehensive recipe book, you bake the cake. You follow the basic recipe, mix the ingredients, bake it, and then taste it. As you go, you adjust the ingredients and methods based on how it turns out. The goal is to end up with the delicious cake that people can enjoy rather than spending all your time documenting every detail. So, the comprehensive documentation represents the extensive recipe book with the detailed instruction and notes. The working cake represents the actual cake you bake and enjoy. In Agile also, the focus is on delivering a final product, that is, the working cake, rather than creating an exhaustive documentation, which is we understood in the recipe book. The idea is to produce something valuable and usable quickly and then improve it based on feedback and experience. Hope you understood the second value of Agile Manifesto, which was working software over comprehensive documentation. Now moving to the third value of Agile Manifesto, which is customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Let me explain this. Rather than sticking rigidly to the terms of contract, this value encourages ongoing collaboration with customer. The idea is to work closely with customers throughout the project to ensure their needs are met, even if it means adjusting the original plan. Let me explain this with you an example of planning a wedding. So, in contract negotiation, if you are planning your wedding and you create a very detailed contract with your wedding planner, this contract might include specific details like exact color of the tablecloth, the precise menu, and the exact schedule for every part of the day. Both you and the planner strictly adhere to this contract with little room for changes or adjustments. Customer collaboration, instead of focusing on rigid contract, you have ongoing discussion with your wedding planner. You start with general idea of what you want, like themes and key elements, As the planning progresses, you and the planning person might regularly discuss and adjust details based on your evolving preferences, new ideas, and any unforeseen circumstances. The planner helps you to adapt to the changes, and you both work together to make sure the wedding turns out exactly how you envision it. So, in this example, you understood that the contract negotiation represents a rigid, detailed agreement where all aspects are predefined and inflexible. The customer collaboration you understood by representing a dynamic, ongoing process where you and the planner work together in order to make decisions and adjustments based on your needs and feedback. In Agile also, the focus is working closely with the customers or stakeholders to adapt and refine the project as it progresses, rather than sticking strictly to a predefined contract. This collaborative approach ensures that the final product more closely aligns with the customer's needs and expectations. So, hope you understood the third value of Agile Manifesto, which was about customer collaboration over contract negotiation. Moving to the last value of Agile Manifesto, which is responding to change over following a plan. So basically, this value recognizes that change is inevitable and often beneficial. While having a plan is important, but being able to adapt to changes, whether they come from new market conditions, customer feedbacks, or technological advances, is crucial. The ability to pivot when needed is more valuable than rigidly sticking to the original plan. Let me explain with an example of cooking a meal. Like if you are cooking a meal, you are following a plan, right? Imagine you are preparing a meal with a very detailed recipe. You plan every step meticulously, the exact ingredients, the precise cooking times, and the specific order of each step. You follow the recipe exactly as written. Even you encounter issues like missing ingredients or change in cooking temperature. So in order to responding to change, we can understand like instead of sticking adhering to the recipe, you start with a basic idea of what you want to cook. As you prepare the meal, you taste the dish along the way and make adjustments based on what you experience. If you find that the dish needs more seasoning, or if you are out of an ingredient, you adapt by improvising with that what you have on hand. You adjust the cooking time or temperature based on how the food is progressing. So, in this example, you understood like following a plan basically represents sticking rigidly to detailed recipe and steps, even you encounter an unexpected situations. Rather than responding to change represents basically adapting your cooking process based on real-time feedback and changing circumstances. In Agile also, the emphasis is on responding to change rather than strictly following a plan. This approach allows for flexibility and adaptation, ensuring that the final outcome is more aligned with the current needs and conditions. Hope you understand all the four values of Agile Manifestos. So now we will move to the Agile principles. So we have total 12 Agile principles, which forms the foundation of Agile practices and guides teams in creating high quality software efficiently. Now I will explain each principle in detail using an example to make them easier to understand. So the first principle states our highest priority is to satisfy the customer through early and continuous delivery of valuable software. Let me explain with you this first principle with an example. Imagine a restaurant where the chef prepares small, delightful courses one after the other instead of serving a giant meal at the end. The customers get to enjoy each dish as it's ready, providing feedback after each one. Similarly, in software development also, instead of waiting to deliver a fully finished product, the team releases small, functional increments regularly. This allows the customers to start using the software early and provide feedback, leading to a better final product. This was all about first principle. Now moving to the second principle, which is welcome changing requirements. Even late in development, agile processes harness change for customers' competitive advantage. So, like think of sailor adjusting the sails to catch the changing wind direction. Even if the wind shifts unexpectedly, the sailor adapts to keep the boat moving towards its destination. In software also, a development team is building an e-commerce site, and midway through the project, the customer realizes that a new payment method is gaining popularity. So the team adjusts their plan to integrate this new payment option, keeping the product competitive. That is why it is welcome changing requirements even late in development. Now, moving to the third principle, which is deliver working software frequently from couple of weeks to a couple of months with a preference to shorter time scale. Let me explain with the simple example. A painter who shows the client's sketches and drafts regularly instead of only revealing the final painting. This allows the client to influence the direction and making changes along the way. In software also, a team working on mobile app releases updates every 2 weeks. Each update includes new features, new improvements, giving users something tangible to work with and providing the team with feedback to refine the app further. That is why delivering working software frequently. Hope you understood first three agile principles better. So moving to the fourth principle of agile, which states business people and developers must work together daily throughout the project. For example, think of football team where the coach and players communicate constantly during a match to adjust strategies based on what is happening on the field. Similar way, in the agile team, product owners and developers have daily stand-ups where they discuss about the progress, address the issues, and align on the next steps, ensuring everyone is on the same page. So, we can say that business peoples and developers must work together daily throughout the project. Moving to the fifth agile principles, which states build projects around motivated individuals, give them the environment and support they need, and trust them to get the job done. Imagine a gardener who provides rich soil, sunlight, and water to plants and then lets them grow on their own. The gardener trusts that with the right conditions, the plant will thrive. Similarly, a company hires skilled developers and gives them the tools and autonomy to make decisions. Instead of micromanagement, the leadership trusts the team to deliver quality work, resulting in more engaged and productive team. Moving to the sixth agile principle, the most effective and efficient method of conveying information to and within a development team is face to face conversation. Let us consider how much easier is it to explain a recipe by showing someone in person rather than writing down the instructions. Face to face communication reduces misunderstandings. Similarly, in Agile team, developers and stakeholders often have in person or video meetings to discuss requirements and design choices. This ensures everyone understands the context and nuances and reduces the chances of errors. So this is all about first 6 agile principles. Hope you have understood these in very simple way I tried to explain. So before moving to the 7th principle, I would like everyone to, if you like these videos, and I should go ahead and create such kind of videos which would help you. So I would like everyone to subscribe, like, and also share with your friends so that they can also learn new things. So moving to the 7th principle, which is working software is the primary measure of progress. So a builder measures progress by the height of the wall being built rather than by the number of bricks bought or the time spent on the planning. So in order to understand from the agile perspective, instead of measuring success by the number of features planned or lines of code written, agile team focuses on how much of the software is functional and in the hands of users. A new feature isn't considered progress until it is working and usable. So that's why working software is the primary measure of progress. Moving to the 8th principle, agile processes promote sustainable development. The sponsors, developers, and users should be able to maintain a constant pace indefinitely. Like a marathon runner who paces themselves throughout the race can finish strong, whereas a sprinter who exhausts all their energy early on might not take it to the finish line. Similarly, an agile team avoids burnout by maintaining a steady, sustainable work pace. They don't push for extreme overtime to meet deadlines, ensuring that the team remains productive and motivated over the long term. That is all about the 8th principle. Now coming to the 9th principle, which is continuous attention to technical excellence and good design enhances agility. Let me explain you with the example. A carpenter who regularly sharpens their tool in order to work more efficiently and effectively so that they can produce high quality furniture with less effort. In agile also, like an agile team prioritizes writing clean, well documented code and refactoring whenever necessary. This technical excellence allows them to adapt quickly to change and add new features without introducing any bugs or creating delays. That is why the continuous attention is to on technical excellence, which enables good design and enhances agility. So moving to the 10th agile principle, which states simplicity. The art of maximizing the amount of work done, not done, is essential. That means, let me explain with you example. A sculpture who chips away the unnecessary stone to reveal the statue beneath focuses only of what is essential, leaving out anything that doesn't add value to it. In agile also, like agile team avoids over engineering by implementing only the necessary features. Instead of adding every possible option to a software product, they focus on what delivers the most value to the customer, reducing complexity and speeding up the development. The next agile principle is the best architectures, requirements, and designs emerge from self organizing teams. Let me explain with an example. A jazz band improvises together with each musician contributing creatively without a rigid script. The music evolves naturally, driven by the collective talent of the group. In agile project also, the team is given the freedom to decide on how to organize their work and solve problems because they are closest to the actual work. Their solutions are often more innovative and practical than those imposed by external management. The last principle of Agile is at regular intervals, the team reflects on how to become more effective, then tunes and adjusts its behavior accordingly. Let me explain with that example. Some example. A runner who evaluates their performance after each race and adjusts their training based on what worked or didn't will continuously improve. In Agile also, Agile team holds retrospective at the end of each sprint to discuss what went well, what didn't go well, and how they can improve. They then implement changes to their process, continually refining their workflow to become more efficient and more effective. This was all about Agile values and principles. Hope you understood all the Agile values and Agile principles with an example. And if you like this video, I would like to request you all to subscribe, like, and also share with your friends so that I will get motivation in order to prepare such kind of videos in future. Thank you so much for having patience. Have a great day and please follow Knowledge Gems. Thank you.